Good boy. You're so messy. Hi, I'm miltonchang of Bonsai Heirloom, and this is my puppy Leon. He's not going to sit still, so I'm going to let him down. I want to share with you this wonderful plaque. That's the YouTube 100K subscriber award. In some sense, I'm now an influencer. I'm famous. So I want to thank you for your interest and your support for me to get that. To thank you for your support, we have decided to give away 10 bonsai, and we'll ship it out in September 2024. You can register at our website until December 31st, 2023, and we'll let you know soon after that who are the winners. So again, thank you very much, and we hope you will sign up and win. With that in mind, then let's now go on to the Q&A. One of the first questions I have was from someone who asked me to tell him a little bit about Leon. Well, Leon is a Shih Tzu, and he is absolutely lovely, no work, smart, doesn't bark at all almost. But if you don't mind, occasionally I'm going to go off the subject a little bit. Since we are kind of a community, Bonsai Heirloom community, buying puppy is really a bit of a problem. You can go to, if you're serious about showing your dog and so forth, you can spend quite a bit of money to get one that's AKC, and there are a lot of members that are very reputable. You can get that. And what I found is there are a lot of shysters that are trying to swindle you out of money when they trying to sell their puppy, and you send them the money, let's say by wiring or Union, Western Union, and you never get your puppy. And that happened to me once. So I got puppies through buying from a private individual. Money change hands with the dog. You don't get cheated. So and also you see what exactly you're getting. So that's what I want to share with you, so you don't get cheated. There are a lot of people who are less than perfectly honest. The first couple of questions on Q&A is a general cultural question. One is, how do I train a wisteria bonsai? Don't let it grow too big. And I think wisteria is really a wonderful, beautiful tree. Try to get the ones with beautiful color, some more intense color. I think the best source of bonsai is really dig up an existing wisteria, because it takes quite a while to get trunk size. But since this person asked me about small wisteria, I found wisteria tend to blossom when they're pretty good size. So I'm not sure you want to get a small wisteria. I love wisteria. I dug up a couple from my garden, and at least one is made into a bonsai. I will dig up a couple more later to show you how I make into a bonsai. Generally, what you do is that you prune the wisteria at the end of a growing season, after the leaves are gone, so that you can see where you're going. But in the meantime, you let it grow a while so that the tree can gain strength and thicken the branches. So I don't have much more to add. It's a very hardy tree. They grow fast. If you give it a lot of fertilizer and a lot of water, and especially if you keep it in the ground. But the next one is how to train a ficus bonsai. I don't have too much experience with ficus, because they are really more of in my mind, it's more of an indoor house plant. They grow humongous in the wild in, let's say, India or any of the tropical countries, locations, including Hawaii, and for that matter, Florida. But so they are fairly easy. You can take a cutting and it will root, or it will send out air root to root. So I don't think there's anything special you should do about it. Just look at my general bonsai. Do the clipping growth, and that's just fine. Or if you want to find a bushy one and do a wiring, it's also fine. The next question is that, about the mesh that I talk about, root pruning. The screen I put down, which is really nothing more than a mosquito window screen, can do the root pruning, which you can almost, aside from some real aggressive trees, you can almost forget about repotting, because that will keep the roots, fibrous roots growing. Because as the roots penetrate the screen, it gets cut by the screen, in a sense, limit the growth by the screen. So it winds up sending out fibrous roots inside the pot, which is very desirable. So I hope you try it. It's very easy to do, and it really works, I found. And then the other one, how do you do cuttings of pine? Like, is it possible to do cuttings of pine, like elms? I have not found very many articles or topics about doing cuttings for pine. Recently, I came across in the YouTube air layering a black pine, and it showed that it rooted in about 15 months. So I encourage you to try. I have seen in Japanese bonsai books about doing cork black pine cuttings, and is to cut the tip in the springtime. But the ratio of success is really only a few percent. That's why cutting grown cork pine are very expensive in Japan. Actually, not too expensive compared to what you will get here, because there are a lot of people who know how to do that. So yes, it's possible to do cork pine, black pine cutting, but A, cork pine is hard to find. B, is that the yield is not high. Well, then the other set of questions is really about timing, about digging up boxwood. What's the best time to dig up a boxwood hedge? And I would say just about any time. But if you do it in the summertime, in a sense, hot weather, and you don't get too much roots, fibrous roots, then you need to cut back the branches severely to compensate. Of course, the best time is always springtime. What's the best time to cut do elm cuttings in areas like Toronto? Well, basically, again, getting back to the basics, there are three kinds of cutting. Softwood cutting, which tend to be very difficult. You need misting or put it in a tent to keep the moisture in, because the softwood needs a lot of moisture to keep alive. The second easiest one I found is the semi-hardwood cutting, stems that are maybe 3 months old after they came out. That's still a little bit green, but mostly brown. And they can root very quickly like elm. I can get them to root in 6 weeks or less. And so is so are the Japanese trident and the Japanese maples. And then the hardwood cutting you can try during the summer months, but really it's more late fall to early spring. And you put it in sand with some bottom heat, and they root out, and then it grows fairly quickly in the springtime. The next question is about, he's a little bit scared to do cutting for the pine, and is it okay to do it in a December timeframe? I found that the pine still grow a little bit during the winter months, at least in California, mild weather. So I don't think it's so much of when you cut it, but it's when you cut it when the candles are long enough with a little bit of a spuds coming out, and that's when you cut it to about equal height, equal length everywhere. So then when they come out, they will bud again, and then when they come out, they will be reasonable length, and they of same length. I would say anytime, maybe cut it 3 to 4 months or 6 months each, twice a year, and you pretty soon have dense growth and uniform needle size. So the other question is, when should I do pruning in Sweden? I see you can do it pretty much at all the time, at any time in California. Well, I think you can also do repotting and pruning at any time, anywhere. But I think it's really better to do it when the weather is not too hot or not too cold. Because if you repot it during the cold months, you repot it, it's quite possible the root might get freeze over because you have a reduction in the amount of roots, and then the freezing is not going to help it. And so I would suggest in Sweden, where you do get cold winters, is to repot it in the springtime. And by cutting, you can, in terms of pruning, you can just do it about just about any time. Although there's some theory about when you prune in the active growing season, the sap may come out at the end. I don't think that's a big problem, but if you're worrying about it, again, you cut it late fall or early spring when they start to grow. The next one is soil mix. When can I get sulfur? Well, I went on Google Amazon, and Amazon carries sulfur, so you can get it from Amazon. You may be asking for lime sulfur, which is a very good insecticide to spray. It's called dormant insecticide. It's called dormant spray. That means you seal the tree so that insects are killed when they come out, emerge with the lime sulfur around, which I think lime sulfur eventually turns into sulfur. What brand of vermiculite and perlite do I mix? Do I recommend? And what do I mean by loam? Well, you can buy perlite and vermiculite on Amazon, although that's much more expensive because that they have to add shipping, even though they don't charge you, but it's added to your price. I suggest you go to local nurseries like Home Depot or Lowe's to buy them in bags. Or better yet, go to your local hydroponic supply house. They really sell them inexpensively and in large quantities. At the end of the day, they are really growing marijuana with that stuff. And as far as what brand that I use, there's no brand. I just use generic brand. Those are very standard products. And as far as the loam goes, I Google loam, and it's just a kind of soil that contains the sediment, ideally. Don't sweat too much about the word sandy loam or loam. Your topsoil generally is really good after many years of vegetable cultivation. So use that, and then the perlite and vermiculite from your local hydroponic supplier. Well, I don't think there's much to answer in this question. I think the bonsai mix I recommend is really what I do for all my trees, which is my topsoil, sandy loam, plus perlite and plus peat moss, 1 part, 1 part, 1 part, and that seems to work well for just about everything. And I might add for trees that really like moisture or soft soil, I for like elm and Japanese maple, I may use 2 parts of topsoil instead of 1 part. So just try it, because in some sense it's very flexible and depends on your lifestyle. How often do you want to water it and what kind of tree you have? But a little bit of thinking, logics will get you there. So don't be afraid. Generally, any mix will work. Thank you very much. I hope you like my video. I need my brownie points, and subscribe to our channel. We'll advise you of any new video. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. See you next week.